Hey, thanks for coming back to the channel this morning. I want to talk a little bit about this effort on the assault weapons ban, whatever an assault weapon is, because the definition changes depending on where you are in the world or where you are in the country. Uh, the state of Washington is queued up in its legislature to pass one. Probably will be signed by the governor. But in the backdrop is uh, the Ninth Circuit, in which the state of Washington and Oregon are part, is about to issue uh, a decision that says assault weapons bans are unconstitutional, which will then affect all the states in the Ninth Circuit, including the state of Washington. Now, this whole assault weapons ban mantra, which goes all the way up to the current president, uh, the states that have implemented these things or voted on these things uh, will not, in the Ninth Circuit, will say, well, we're not going to accept that, even though there's been a final ruling. Uh, an effort then will be made, which will almost certainly find its way to the Supreme Court of the United States. In which case, all bans of almost any weapon will be struck down. And here's why. There are two pieces to this banning of a firearm, or any arm for that matter, any arm. But let's pick on these semi-automatic rifles for a minute. Um, Heller and Bruen, the two most recent Supreme Court decisions, because both are standing good law as defined by our Constitution, um, say that you can ban an arm, in this case a firearm, that correction, you cannot ban a firearm that is in common use. Period. In common use, and there are millions of semi-automatic rifles out there in the country that kind of falls into the in common use category. So that alone says constitutionally you can't ban it. But states are saying we don't care. We're going to make you force us to change the law. The second one is so first one is it in common use? The answer is yes. Boom, done deal. You can't. It's game over. You can't ban it. The second one says if an arm is dangerous and not or and unusual. This is from Heller. So yes, all arms are dangerous. All arms are dangerous. But not all arms are unusual. Because if it's in common use, it cannot also be unusual. Good logic, right? So should any one of these assault weapons, so-called assault weapons bans, find its way to the Supreme Court, assuming that the circuit court, in this case the Ninth Circuit on the West Coast, that the states don't try to balk at that and say and put the middle finger up to the federal court, then a Supreme Court ruling will fix this problem for the entire country once and for all. But remember the ground rules. Is it in common use? If yes, according to the Supreme Court, not me, according to the Supreme Court, if it's in common use, then therefore it cannot be banned. Oh, by the way, only if it's unusual and dangerous. And dangerous. Not unusual or dangerous. Because remember, all arms, regardless of what kind they are dangerous. By definition, what is an arm? It's something that can be used offensively or defensively to deliver deadly force, lethal force to another human. That's what an arm is. And all arms are intended to be used in war conflict. All arms, small, large, all arms, anything that's an arm. So this side argument, we don't need weapons of war on our streets. Well, yeah, we do, because those are called arms, and you can't. We have the right to keep and bear arms. Hello. So that's kind of where some of this argument is going. But I wanted to put this out there so you guys and ladies kind of have the real argument. And yeah, probably we'll go to the Supreme Court, but just hang in there. Hang in there, right? It's Monday, April 3rd. If you like the content, hit the bell icon and subscribe, hit the bell icon. I haven't had much coffee this morning. And share if you feel it's shareable. And like I always say, wherever you can, whenever you can, however you can, carry on.